I know. I said I wasn't going to look for those things that are eating the Springfield cats no more. But things have gotten much worse in the last few days. Schools are closing because of bomb threats, dude. We left Haiti to escape the violence, and I don't want to live in fear no more. So I decided I'm going to capture one of those things and show everyone the creatures that are eating their cats. I know I was really scared, but it's been 2 days since they chased me, and the fear has mostly subsided now. And I've managed to build up the courage to face them again. But first, I needed all the information I could gather about these creatures. So I went to see a woman who wrote a book about paranormal activities that happened in Springfield, Ohio. I sent her an email telling what had happened to me, and surprisingly, she was very eager to help and invited me to her house to talk. Even though apparently she was under 50 years old, she had this old lady vibe. She looked like a kind of person who isn't afraid to be different. A little eccentric, but very nice person overall. She offered me a tea and biscuits and told me that from what I had described to her, it was likely that they were creatures from the Chupacabra family. She said that these creatures can suppress their stench and that I couldn't rely solely on smell to find them. She also said that they had a certain level of intelligence, so I shouldn't underestimate them, and that the chicken bait probably wouldn't work again. They also have a keen sense of smell and would remember my scent. I asked what kind of trap could work against them, and her answer was not encouraging. Several people have tried to capture these creatures. Passionate people trying to prove their existence. Entrepreneurs wanting to make money using them as circus attractions. But from what she had learned from her years of research and personal experiences, she advised me that my best chance was killing one of them. Capturing one alive was out of question, but I had an idea. This time, I could be the bait. If they remember my scent and have a degree of intelligence, then they might want revenge against who shot them, right? But for that to work, I need a partner. So I asked her if she knew a good shooter that was crazy enough to join me in this hunt. She smiled and said, I know just the right person. She picked up her phone and called him. The call lasted less than 10 seconds. Then she gave me an address and a warning. Ralph is a good guy. Just don't talk about politics and don't stare at his car. He'll be waiting for you. When I got there, I rang the doorbell, but instead of opening the house door, the big iron garage door rolled up. Ralph was a white guy who appeared to be in his 40s and a little overweight. He had this giant scar on the left side of his face that went from the corner of his mouth, passing under his eye and reaching his ear. He seemed like a very straightforward guy because he simply invited me to come in. The garage walls were covered with different axes, chains, weapons, tools, boxes, all kind of stuff. And he didn't waste any time and asked me if I had a plan. And I said, I'll be the bait, you be the shooter. Simple plan. We have to kill one of them and get the body back. And escape alive, he added, smiling. Our best chance will be to fight in an open place where they won't be able to move through the trees and it will be easier to get a good shot. At the end of the Buck Creek there's a dam, which is a good enough of an open area with few trees. And there, Ralph will be waiting with his semi-automatic rifle ready to fire. And the next night, there we were. I was nervously riding along the trail with my flashlight. It was a full moon, but the trees blocked most of its light. I could hear the sounds of crickets and of the creek. But when I saw that bridge, that same bridge where I was ambushed last time, my stomach turned, but this time there was no bad smell, and I just kept moving forward. And it seems like they weren't there today. But after that point in the trail, my anxiety tripled. I felt like puking and I was looking around frantically. I thought it's probably PTSD, so I started to take deep breaths in and out and focus on the trail in front of me. That's when I realized the crickets were silent, and more strange, I couldn't hear the water flowing no more. Something just wasn't right, but I had to keep going. I felt like it wasn't safe for me to go back the way I came now. My only way out of this was to keep going until I reached the dam. And I was close to it. And to tell you the truth, I was kind of relieved that the plan had gone wrong. Those things weren't chasing me. But when I saw the end of the trail, where the vegetation opened up, I was almost there when a log was thrown right in front of my bike, and I was thrust forward and hit the ground. I was getting up when that disgusting smell invaded my nostrils, and I heard a horrible scream piercing my ears. I turned my head and the creature was practically on top of me. Looking up, I only saw his mouth wide open, dripping saliva. It was a circular shape, a little smaller than the circumference of my head, covered with 2 rows of sharp teeth. I thought that was it. That's the end for me. That moment probably lasted 1 second, but it's true what they say. When you face death, time changes. That second, I saw my mother struggling to feed me and my siblings. I saw my younger sister crying from hunger. I saw my brother being killed in a gang shootout. I saw the UN soldiers beating me up. I felt the earthquake and I heard the people screaming. Then I heard gunshots and that monstrous scream. The headlights of a pickup truck hitting my face. My body just moved on its own, running towards that light. I heard Rolf yelling, "Get in, get in!" I crossed the tree lines and I got into the truck. And he got in too. He threw the rifle on my lap, accelerated, and got us out of there. "It seems they're smarter than we expected," he said. "And they're tougher too. I put at least 3 bullets in that thing and it jumped back into the woods like it was nothing." But even though my head was spinning and there was a loud ringing in my ear, I looked at Ralph and I said, smiling, "At least those things are only hunting cats."
If you like and subscribe.